And so, once again, this is another week where someone has to put Deion Sanders' name in their mouth for no reason, which then turned into I'm going into my young quarterback stuff. They had a conversation. Who's the second best quarterback in the country? And it was like, if you had to pick between Drake May and Shedeur Sanders, who would you take? And I had a problem with this because Drake May, this is my personal opinion. This does not mean you have to like it or love it or dislike it or anything like that. Drake May has done absolutely nothing because the same arguments that were made for Shedeur, saying that, well, he's not that good because he was playing at Jackson State. Who has Drake May played against? Nobody. The ACC is not that good. The last couple years he's been playing in it. For you to sit there and be like, oh no, he should be the second best quarterback in the draft. And the only reason why they do this is because he's 6'4", 235 pounds. Yep. And they do what most people do. Oh, he's built like Josh Allen. He's that. And they put comparisons on people, and then they base their projections based on the comparison of the player.
And to put it in retrospect for everybody, they played South Carolina, Appalachian State, Minnesota, Pitt, and Syracuse.
Trent,
they play the U tomorrow.
I'm not comparing the HBCU to an ACC. I'm talking about competition, period. The ACC, we can all agree, if we're going to talk about the Power 5 conferences, it's a bottom 2.
Yep, sure is.
So that's all I'm saying.
And I'm pretty sure there's a few HBCU teams that can beat some ACC teams.
And if we're going to talk about what Shedeur Sanders is doing this season compared to what Drake May is doing this season, we can see that Shedeur is playing better, not by a lot, but he's playing better than Drake.
He's playing better against better competition.
Yeah, so that's quite
like let's see what happens when Drake May plays against a USC type. Like let me see. Looking at the rest of their schedule, right? This is the rest of North Carolina's schedule. They played the U this weekend, then they got Virginia, then Georgia Tech, then Campbell, then Duke, then Clemson, then North Carolina State. Who the fuck are they playing this year?
Right.
Like Clemson on most years, Clemson would have been that one, but Clemson not even ranked this year.
Drake, I mean, like I said you don't got to agree with it. I just haven't seen nothing there's nothing to tell me that Drake May picks and drops. He been balling. Hey, he's playing with better, and on top of not just, he's still playing with some better supporting cast than Shedeur.
So let me pull up. I just got to do it. I want to pull up this comparison because it came up in this conversation. Now I just got to see it.
What
now I got it. I'm about to do it because I don't disagree entirely, but I do at the same time, and I'm about to do it because I like facts over everything. I'm sorry, I don't do analytics. I don't do none of that shit. I want bona fide ass, true ass facts. So Drake May currently on this upcoming season has thrown for 1,629 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with an 85.6 QBR, which is 9th in the country. Phenomenal. Yep. Great. All right. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, has thrown for 2,020 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, but he has a 70.3 QBR, which is 36th. People are going to look at that QBR stat and be like, oh, well, Shedeur is just not as efficient as Drake May because look at his QBR. Well, again, if I take the competition that Shedeur has played against versus the competition that Drake May has played against, give me Shedeur at that number 2 spot every single time because he's done this against better competition. Let me see Drake May against TCU. Let me see Drake May against USC. Let me see him against Oregon upcoming. Like, let me see that before we start trying to bash this man. Because if Drake May was him, like he just said, why does Shedeur have double the amount of touchdowns and 2 less interceptions in the same amount of games played?
And that's like I said, and like Shedeur's supporting cast is not as good as North Carolina.
No, it's not. And the coaching. He also does have Mack Brown. I'm not like discrediting like Deion Sanders, but he has Mack Brown. And Mack Brown is a damn good coach who's been doing this college football coaching a lot longer than Deion. So he understands a few different conceptual things to do that Coach Sanders knows, but he's putting together a little bit differently right now. So there's like a lot of other factors in play here.
And not to mention, Drake May has been in North Carolina for 3 years.
Yeah. And again, this is not like us like bashing on Drake May. Like Drake May also has phenomenal. He has one of the better wide receiver trios in college football. Like he has a really good set of receivers he's got at least 2 guys that are going to be drafted in the NFL, 100%.
Michael Penix is not playing like the best QB in the fucking country.
Now Michael Penix is playing pretty damn good though.
He's playing great football, but let's not do like I've been seeing people overhype this dude literally all goddamn season, bro. And like if you're gonna sit up there and say that he's been playing like the best player in the country, then what happened last game? What happened against UCLA? Because that was a bad loss.
Michael Penix, for the sake,
please come up with an excuse for that.
1,999 yards, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 91.6 QBR. That's currently what he's looking at. So,
and Penix got 3 NFL wide receivers he's throwing to.
Yes.
And I'll give Penix this. I'll give Penix this credit because when I see him play, he does throw the best deep ball out of all of them. But at the end of the day, one game against a bad UCLA unranked team. Yeah, that speaks a lot. That kind of speaks volumes. Considering that
their last game was against Arizona,
or that Colorado played or who played Arizona? I think Colorado played Arizona last.
Yeah, he's about Washington, right?
Yeah, I'm looking
Washington.
At it right now.
Washington. Their last loss came to UCLA, a bad UCLA team. Like that UCLA team is not good. Let's be completely honest, right? So yes, one game speaks volumes. Everybody wanted to build their narrative off Shedeur for getting blown out by Oregon, and then he bounces back the next game. And what happened? He's back. He's back. Oh, he has a great.
Oh no, they didn't lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they didn't lose.
Washington's last game was against Arizona on September 30th. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they haven't played UCLA yet. They don't play UCLA this year. They play Oregon, Arizona State, Stanford, USC, Utah, Oregon State, and Washington State. They don't even play UCLA this year.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's why Washington lost.
No, they ain't lose yet. I mean, they didn't look good against Arizona.
No, I mean Penix still had 363 yards passing. Like he's still, but he didn't have any touchdowns, no rushing or passing touchdowns in that game. But they still, I mean, they won by what, 6? I think it was. Well, 7. They won by 7, 31-24, something like that.
Yeah, they won by 6.
But I mean, he was 30 to 40 for 363, which is still pretty damn good, minus the fact that there were no touchdowns. He's only got. And he's got 2 interceptions on the year too, which is,
But Trent,
it was Arizona that I was thinking about.
If Penix has been wilding, then what has Shedeur Sanders been doing?
Answer that question.
If Penix is wilding, what is Shedeur Sanders doing?
Because against USC, right? Against USC, which is everybody talking about, Caleb Williams being that guy and how good USC is. 30 or 45 for 371 and 4 touchdowns against USC. And we said this. Had Colorado had an actual running back and a running game, they win that game.
You literally just said that he would be a best at QB2.
Right. But my thing is
that you don't think it's QB2, but Drake May's like that. So how?
Because Trent, we had this conversation.
I don't get that logic there.
I was telling them, look, Caleb Williams might be the better athlete between him and Shedeur, but if you're talking about playing the quarterback position, Shedeur is a better quarterback. Does it mean he's not athletically, they're not on the same level? No, they're not. But Shedeur, the way he reads the defense, the way he can stand in the pocket, extend the plays, like even against who was it? Who was that last game? The last USC game.
The last USC game?
Arizona. When they went to overtime. Who is that against?
I'll tell you in just a second. It's pulling up as we speak. They played
Arizona State, right? Arizona State.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, San Jose State.
No, Arizona State.
No, Arizona State. No. Yeah,
Arizona State.
I'm sorry.
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
He saved himself on a lot of different things because because of his legs, not because of his arm and his eyes. There were receivers open in the play. Like, they could not cover Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice.
Oh, no. So it was Arizona. That's why that schedule jacked me up. Because Washington was on a bye week. It was fucking me up. I was like, they both couldn't have played Arizona last week. Yeah. So Washington was on a bye. So they played Arizona and win the triple overtime. USC, that is. Caleb Williams had 219 yards in that particular game. Looking at the splits now. I mean,
what?
Cool story, bro. But again, here's the funny thing, right? Let's talk about this real quick, right? Arizona is a lesser team than Colorado, right? Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Why was the score 43-41 against Arizona? And it was 48-41 against Colorado.
And they were losing.
Just want to
I'm not saying Caleb is not a good quarterback. That's not what I'm saying.
Nobody's bashing Caleb Williams, but we've got to stop putting him in this conversation like he's the next greatest thing smoking.
Right, and that's all. It's like
you just said it too, Mel. Like, we've got to give these young cats a chance to act. Let's let them get to the fucking league first.
Right. Thank you. Let them get to the damn league first. Let them do something first, bro. Like
we're putting the fact that just your favorite person that we've been talking about this whole show and Colin Cowherd, the fact that Caleb Williams is in some of his hierarchies of quarterbacks already, and he ain't set foot on an NFL field yet is blasphemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, too bad, so sad.
But this is the thing, right? Because everybody, like I said, everybody want to talk about Michael Penix, and I know I was, out of left field with the whole UCLA thing. But it's like, still, who have they played? Boise, Tulsa, Michigan State, California, and Arizona. Arizona is probably the best competition you guys have played. This coming up Saturday, I'm going to be real interested and going to be locked into this game because I'm going to see if Washington State is going to be able to step up to the challenge that is Oregon, right? But but then you got USC, right? And then you got Utah, right? And then you got Oregon State, who I think can actually beat Washington. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So it's like everybody wants to put all this stuff on Michael Penix, right? Like I said, he throws a great deep ball, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. But when you look at levels of competition, Shedeur has played some of the best type of competition, right? Michael Penix has yet to play the best type of competition yet. Drake May has yet to play the best type of competition. We've seen Shedeur against some of the best defense, against some of the best competition in the country. We have yet to see that from Drake May yet. We have yet to see that from Michael Penix.
Because
when we see that,
then we can judge. Do me a favor, put Micah's comment back up there, because as soon as he said that, my brain was immediately like, he hit a fucking nail on the head. All right, let's play this game. Most quarterbacks that win the Heisman don't go on to last in the NFL. Let's just play this game for just a second. Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, RG3, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Matt Leinart, and that's going from the 2000s to now. All of those quarterbacks. Who was the most successful out of all those quarterbacks that I just named off right now?
Say it again.
So currently, you got Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, RG3, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson.
Of all of those quarterbacks, so Lamar Jackson was 2016.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot Kyler Murray in 2018. I forgot the toddler. He kind of popped up and disappeared. But the point is, so since Lamar in 2016, we've had Baker, Kyler, Joe Burrow, and Bryce Young. And then Caleb Williams, obviously, last year. We have these 5 other quarterbacks. Now, Baker is still playing in the NFL. We know this, and he's doing well. Kyler is trying to come back. Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl, so we're not going to not knocking Joe Burrow for that. But there's validity to what Micah's comment just said. Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Johnny Manziel, RG3, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow.
Most of the time,
in totality, that's what one MVP. One NFL MVP from all the names I just did? One? And it was Cam?
Literally one.
You had a Super Bowl appearance from Cam Newton.
I would say I think that's the only Super Bowl appearance, too, from that group.
Now, you did have playoff wins. Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston both have playoff wins. RG3 has been in the playoffs. Manziel's been in the playoffs. Sam Bradford had three ACL injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tebow has a playoff victory. Matt Leinart he had a couple playoff wins. And then Carson Palmer was Carson Palmer. We know he had them stacked Bengals teams, and they just kind of couldn't get over the hump of the gauntlet that was the North at the time.
The AFC.
So there's validity to what he just said when it comes to quarterbacks and winning the Heisman. Because you notice, right? C.J. Stroud is not on this list. And what's C.J. Stroud doing as a rookie right now?
Balling.
Just, and I'm not saying he's going to be the best of this bunch.
He's playing.
But the point is, what he said was perfect because it's true. Most of your Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a Heisman. Tom Brady doesn't have a Heisman. Aaron Rodgers don't have a Heisman. Peyton Manning don't have a Heisman. Heisman don't really mean shit.
No, it just means you was the best player in college football.
That's literally all it means. You was the best player in college. It don't mean nothing because you can't. That doesn't mean that you being the best player in college means it translates to you being the best player in NFL. Now, no, nobody fucking cares at the end of the goddamn day. Nobody cares because it's not people playing for a spot. It's not people playing for these niggas are playing for money. They're playing for livelihood. So
but the thing,
it's different.
But see, I don't think that's true because we don't
know that.
We don't know what Caleb is going to be.
We don't know what Caleb is going to be. Everybody wants to sit up here and put Patrick Mahomes star on him. Oh, he's like Patrick Mahomes. He could be the next Patrick Mahomes. We didn't even know what Patrick Mahomes is going to be. Patrick Mahomes was not playing like this when he was at Texas Tech. Like, come on, bro. Like, if he was playing like this and had all the weapons and stuff like that when he was at Texas Tech, they would have fucking done something. They would have won. But he wasn't. The reason why they took him is because they see something in him. And you can say coming out of college all you want to, but that doesn't matter.
I can tell you this right now. Coming out of college, Caleb Williams wasn't RG3 coming out of college. Coming out of college? No. Caleb Williams is not RG3.
No, Caleb Williams ain't even Vince Young coming out of college.
I don't even know what that means.
No, he said, okay, so if we're playing that game, right? Okay, Caleb Williams is tentatively the projected number one overall pick, right?
How is he better than RG3 coming out of college? But
here's my thing. What has Caleb Williams done in college outside of winning the Heisman? Has he been to the
nails and lose to Utah twice? Has
he been to the college football playoff? Has he played in the national championship? The answer is no to both. But this is supposed to be the next great quarterback.
To the playoffs. He's painted his nails and he lost to Utah twice. That's what he's done. That's the significance of his career as of right now. Let's be completely honest.
Trying to judge a college football a college quarterback passer in college is crazy because how long did it take for somebody to break Colt Brennan's record at Hawaii?
At this point, RG3 and Caleb Williams have done the exact same thing.
He said that Caleb Williams is a better passer. RG3 has one of the best deep balls we have ever seen. One of the most accurate deep balls. Like RG3 was like that. He was ahead of his skis from an athletic perspective and got himself fucked off. RG3 had a phenomenal deep ball.
If we asking that question, what did Caleb Williams do?
Because
they're the same. You're gonna say anything on the same level.
Yeah, let's just look at this Heisman list. Bryce Young has been to the national championship. Devontae Smith, national championship. Joe Burrow, national championship. Baker Mayfield, college football playoff. Like, what do you mean? Like, what have you done, Caleb Williams? You ain't even been to the college football playoff yet. And the college football playoff has been around for a good minute now.
Opportunities to do.
You haven't even won your conference yet.
Like coming out of college, would you say Caleb Williams coming out of college was better than Deshaun Watson?
No. Deshaun just came off of beating Alabama in the national championship.
He's not even better than Trevor Lawrence coming out of college.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what? I love that a lot because that's a great one. But yeah, he's not in that conversation with Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson didn't buckle when the pressure got big in college. Caleb Williams got his ass handed to him by Utah.
Twice.
In your own conference.
Twice.
Deshaun Watson beat an Alabama team that gave us 8 high draft pick players off of that squad. That Alabama squad gave us 8 high round draft picks. Deshaun beat them in the national championship with Hunter Renfrow.
What do you mean? How is he not in that combo? Because he is yet to accomplish the same thing that those quarterbacks
He hasn't
have
accomplished anything but a Heisman
in college.
Right now, the lasting impression of Caleb Williams for college is he's going to be in that Heisman House commercial now.
No, the last impression. This is the last impression of Caleb Williams. You painted your nails and got your ass beat by Utah twice. That's it.
Too.
So
nobody cares about the Heisman gang. I know.
If that's the case, then we can't talk about USC because USC squad is fucking insane. That's nuts. Come on, man. Like you can't say that.
Like that's also just like saying, okay, so that Joe Burrow LSU squad was stacked, so it didn't matter. That Bryce Young Alabama squad was stacked, so that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Like Kyler Murray's Oklahoma squad was damn good. They just didn't finish the job.
And
Baker Mayfield had that same Alabama squad with similar people, and
so if that's the case. So if that's the case,
I'm willing to put Lamar over Caleb because Lamar's talent level compared to where Caleb's talent level as far as team wise is nowhere near the same.
Lamar did everything he did in college without the weapons that Caleb got.
Like I said, the talent level compared to teams is nowhere near the same when you talk about a USC and a fucking Louisville compared to what Lamar did and what Caleb did. Throwing off his fucking back foot, all inaccurate and shit like that. He has great weapons and great receivers that are going to come down with it. They're going to make plays for him.
If we're going to rank, is Lamar Jackson the top 5 college quarterback of all time? No, he's not.
No.
Okay.
Because the argument for that one would be, you would have to put it. He wouldn't even be over a guy like Tim Tebow as far as in college.
If you're saying coming out of college, Lamar is not a top 5 quarterback all time in college football. That is insane.
No, it's not.
That is crazy.
That's wild. That's an insane take.
Come on, dog. Like that is niggity nut.
That's an insane take.
You hijacked.
We're talking about somebody who hasn't won a national championship compared to other players who have not only won Heisman but national championships in the same year. No.
You can't say Tebow is not top 5. Like with his accolades alone is top 5.
Oh,
especially what he did in college. Like
that man is a legend in college. That man is a legend in college. Like I don't care what he did in the NFL. That man is forever a legend in college football.
We're talking college, bro. College and pro are not the same.
He said a bigger
and you would be absolutely correct. He is a bigger, slower fucking version of Taysom Hill. That doesn't negate what he did in college.
At all. What did Taysom Hill do in college?
Nothing. I don't even know what college Taysom Hill went to.
I don't either, actually. I actually have no idea. And I normally know this stuff. I actually have no idea.
Oh, dang.
Knowing Taysom Hill, he went to like BYU or some shit.
Hey,
probably.
I'm inclined to take Taysom. Taysom's still in there. He's still in the league, goddamn it. Hey, okay.
No, Taysom's still I like Taysom Hill though.
Taysom Hill did go to BYU.
He did go to
BYU.
Yeah.
2012, BYU.
Says I don't play. You don't. That's this is why we have. What did I just say? This is why we have the fucking problems that we have. You have to look. If we're going to just base it strictly off people's talents, then everybody's top 5 would look completely different. Tom Brady can't be in your top 5 then.
No, he was not.
Peyton Manning can't be in your top 5. Michael Vick is your number 1 quarterback if we're basing it off of their talents.
Has to be.
Hell, that is playing, and Jamarcus Russell will fuck around and be in your top 15 based off of talent.
Most definitely. Just based off talent. Absolutely.
You play for accolades, dog. But that is crazy.
Like accolades plus talent is what makes people.
That's what
makes talent is what equals most of these cats and why they have gold jackets.
That's exactly why.
Like
that's what makes your career a career.
We're gonna have to do something, bro, because what you just said was wild,
insane,
crazy.
I thought it was comical, but you know it's cool.
Most accurate thing you said was
Taysom and Tim Tebow.
Yeah, like the Taysom Hill shit, you nailed that shit to the wall. I'll give you that.
No, but you know, like look at it though. Now Taysom Hill throws back. Taysom is a better thrower He's a better thrower than Tim Tebow. That's
a better ball than Tim Tebow.
But Tim Tebow is a much better runner than Taysom Hill. I think he is. I think he's a better runner than Taysom Hill. I think Taysom's a better passer, but I think Tebow's a better runner.
But you're not catching Taysom Hill. Once he break out,
but you might not tackle Tebow. He might run you. In the red zone, who you want to tackle? Taysom Hill or Tim Tebow?
If you're asking me who I want to hit, I'm fucking Tebow up.
I don't want to hit Tim Tebow in the red zone because you on the 1 yard line. If you telling me you got 1 yard a game,
because Taysom Hill's faster.
Taysom Hill over Tim Tebow 1 yard game
because Taysom Hill faster than Tebow.
That's debatable.
No, Taysom Hill. That's a big fast white boy. He gonna fuck you up. He gonna turn that corner and beat you, and he's not scared of contact.
I mean, neither was Tebow. Tebow ran smack into contact.
But Tebow at times he would think like a quarterback. Taysom Hill don't think.
Tebow went from quarterback to running back in no time.
Yeah,
but my boy Tebow played tight end too. So
I'm trying to tell you, he did that too. He did try to play tight end. Eddie was probably he did try to play tight end. Hey, you know what? If Tim Tebow would have came out in this modern NFL, Tim Tebow would have a place.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
He would have a place in bro. Put Tim Tebow in the RPO system. Come on, Tim Tebow in the RPO system might not. Hey, man, leave Aaron Hernandez out this conversation.
Oh,
sorry, I almost choked on my wine. Oh shit.
Oh my goodness gracious. Hey,
man, that was funny. No, but it's true. Like
it got to be something because man, especially after watching the Florida documentary, I'm not gonna lie. Tim Tebow had to have CTE coming into Florida game because it was cool. What he was willing to put up with, no, you had to have some put up with
that roster alone was insane that he had to deal with.
Insane. The type of insanity was wild with that roster.
Yeah, that CTE do got it. But it's crazy because this is how dope our show is. Without even knowing, it's going to segue right into Percy Harvin and his high ass from them damn Florida teams. This motherfucker right here.
Yeah.